Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's the first Saturday of a brand new month, which can only mean that it's time for a brand new mission inspiration over on our Facebook group. And here's the prompts for August. And yes, we have purples and pinks. Purple's a colour that I normally stay away from, but obviously I'm doing this for you guys out there. So I'm not just going to restrict the colour schemes to colours that I like, but I need to include all the colours as much as I can throughout the year. So this month we've got pink and we've got purple. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. So don't forget, if you want to join in with our monthly art challenges over in our Facebook group, all you have to do is to visit the Facebook group listed on screen now. I'll also put a clickable link in the description area below the video. So without further ado, I will switch over to my overhead camera and I'll get cracking on the prompts for August. Pink, purple. Okay, so as you saw, I've printed off the prompts for August for 2019, and those are the colours. We've got some words for inspiration, but the list of ingredients, so we've got glue, tissue or napkin fragments, add paint with fingers and hands, so it's going to be a bit of a messy day, make marks with circular objects, fantastic, add handwritten journaling quote or text, so no stamping with words this time, include textured embossed card, or textured or embossed card. So that can be any kind of cardstock that's got some kind of texture to it. Okay, so if you haven't got anything with texture, you can always use an embossing folder or something like that to create some. Add doodles or scribbles, plenty of scope for that then. Include some glitter, sparkle or glimmer. Cool. So add hand-drawn or doodled botanical elements. Okay, so we've got scribbles and doodles, so there's a little bit of a theme coming through today. And then we've obviously got like buttermilk, which is a creamy colour, fuchsia, which is a nice kind of magenta-y pinky colour, and then violet, which is a darker purple. So what I've done is I've gone through my collection of bits and pieces, obviously taken my sheet of cardstock out of my mission inspiration journal for the 2019. So this is watercolour cardstock, 300 GSM or £140. Now this one has got a texture on one side which the camera hasn't got a hope in heck of picking up, but it's smooth on that side. So I'm going to be working on the smooth side today. Let's just pop that journal to one side and just show you what I've gathered for the journal, for the page. So tissue or napkin fragments. I've got some rice paper. So I'm going to stamp on this first before sticking it down. So that's my idea for that. Add paint or colour with your fingers or hands. So the colours are fuchsia, buttermilk and violet. So I've got three colours which are kind of, so that one's actually called royal fuchsia, that's Deco Art Americana, buttermilk, light buttermilk it says, and this one is dioxazine purple. Yeah, which is kind of like a violet, but if it's a little bit too dark, I've also got some white that I can mix with it to lighten it up a little bit. Also at the bottom there, G, is include some glimmer, sparkle or glitter. Well, I've pulled out a pot of my indigo blue vodka martini, which is a silver metallic paint. So I can add some highlights with that metallic, and I think the silver will go quite nicely with that kind of colour palette. Purple's one of those colours that can be a warm colour, so it will go with like reds and pinks quite nicely. But because it's also got blue in, it will also go with blues and turquoises and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of one of those colours that kind of sits on the fence of the colour spectrum. So you can use it for a cool page, but you could also use it for a warm page too. So, and I wonder why I don't like it. Anyway, it's not my favourite colour. But I digress. So what else have we got? Textured or embossed card. Now I've pulled out a little sheet of, it's like corrugated card. So I can find something to do with that, so I can include that somewhere. Doodles and scribbles, blah blah. There's nothing else really that I need to find. So, to get started, let's go start somewhere. So obviously I need to do something in the background, so I'm going to be gluing tissue on napkin fragments to start off with. So to do that, I need to stamp on this rice paper. So I've got some archival ink and we've got text scout. It's a script stamp. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the purple, the Dusky Concord purple. So that will help with, well, with the colour choices. So we've got purple in there, haven't we? So, and I don't really think this makes any difference whether it's the right way up or not, or whether I get a decent impression. It's not going to matter that much. So I'll do a couple of those. So of course it's all about layers. It's all about building layers. So texture through layers. This is quite a dark purple as well, isn't it? So it's almost black on this tissue paper. Probably not going to use all of it, so I'll just do 4. So if you're interested, this is the, I'll pull the laminate up, script from Indigo Blue. It's one of the very older ones because it's obviously on the white card, which tells you that it's an older stamp, but I do believe it's still on the Indigo Blue website. And people do ask me, particularly people from the States and stuff, whether or not they ship internationally, and of course they do. So, which is always a bonus. Okay, so we've got some nice stamped tissue. So the list of ingredients says glue tissue on napkin fragment. Okay, so let's just tear that. I'll put that to one side. And then just tear off that bottom bit. But it says fragments. So I need a brush. Okay, and some matte medium. I've got some Indigo Blue matte Slap It On, which is matte medium, obviously. And I'm just going to put some onto my craft mat. And then we've got, let's do, it says fragments, so let's just do that corner. First of all, let's just take a little bit of the matte medium. And I'm going to lay it just in the corner. And then go over the top. And I don't mind if I get a little bit of bleed coming through, or a little bit, because I haven't left the tissue paper to dry properly, really. I've just jumped straight into it. So let's take another piece. Let's stick some over here. Because I've used the purple, it's only going to give a little bit of a bleed of like a pinky colour anyway, isn't it? I'm not sure whether that's the right way up now, but it doesn't make any difference because you can't really read the text. It's kind of illegible script. There we go. And then we'll do a bit more down at the bottom here, I think. kind of tear it into a triangle. And I've put it upside down. Or it looks like it's upside down, but that's fine. It does say fragments. I'll do one more. Let's see, let's do one in the middle. Gives us a little bit of playroom. Like that. And then one final piece, add a little piece at the top. So let's just have a strip. I think that's going to do me. Don't think I want to add any more to that. So I'll get rid of that tissue, get that dried off, and once that's dry, I'll be right back. Okay, so that's pretty much dry now. So that's tissue fragments. And we've also used already just the once that violet colour or purple colour in the Dusty Concord for the stamping, so that's cool. So next, what can we do? Add paint, colour with your fingers or hands, make marks with circular objects, add handwritten journaling quote or text. Textured embossed card somewhere. I think actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to add some embossed card. So let's just tear some of these fragments. And I am just winging this today. I've not any real idea of what I want to achieve. No real picture in my head of what it is that I want it to look like. So this is just going to be a definite playing it by ear. Okay, so I've got some Tombow clear glue, a fragment of that, so let's just overlap some of this. And again, you don't have to go mad. It says include it in the page, but it doesn't say how much or where. So I mean, theoretically you could get away with only putting one piece down. You know, as long as you've included it somewhere on the project, the challenge is to include it. It doesn't say how much or where. Okay. And I think maybe one more piece. Over this side down here, just to break that up a little bit. Actually, maybe one more. Let's do a corner piece. Okay, so that's including textured embossed card somewhere. Alrighty, so let's just give that a minute or two to dry for that glue to grab and take hold. Give me a chance to go down and pop the kettle on. and then once it's grabbed, I'll be back. Okay, so that has had time to dry now and to grab hold. So the next, I'm going to jump back up to B, so add paint or colour with your fingers or hands. Alright, so these are my paint colours. I obviously don't want to put too dark a colour on there because you're not going to see anything that I add on later. So I'm going to add some dark colour first, and remember to shake it up. But I'm also going to put some of the lighter colour on my craft mat too, and then some of that buttermilk, and some magenta. So I've got a little bit of playroom, so I'm going to just take the purple first. And it says use your fingers, so I'm just going to rub it along the edge. So this may take a little while, but if it does, then I'll probably put it on fast forward because I don't want this video to be overly long. Okay, I think I'm in danger of putting too much on there now. So I'm just going to stop what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing. I'm going to have a clean up and a tidy up. And I will mop up these paints here and probably add them to a page in another journal rather than waste them. But I'll have a quick clean up, get that dried, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that is now pretty dry. So I've ticked off adding the paint or colour with my fingers and hands, so that's 3 out of those done. So next I'm going to move on to making marks with circular objects. So keeping with the pencil, I've got the eraser, which is a circle, and I've also got an open circle. That's going to be a flat solid circle if I use that as a stamp. And then I've got the open larger circle of the rim of a spritzer bottle. So I've got 2 circles there, and I'm going to knock over all my paint. Now I'm going to just use a little bit of the buttermilk and then just work that lid into the paint, and then I can start to add making marks and then just add that into the darker areas where it's going to be more visible, and I'm going to use it and take it over the top of that texture paper as well. But like I said earlier, you don't have to do lots of this. As long as you've got 1 or 2, or even just the 1, you've hit your little target for the project, even if you only do it the once. Just clean that off. I can go back on my spritzer bottle. Okay, and then I'll take the darker purple and then using the eraser I can start introducing and then just use the same cloth and just wipe the eraser clean. Ready to use another day. Perfect. Okay, so once again, let's just get that dried off. Okay, so my little marks now are all dry, so I've ticked those off, so making marks with circular objects. So now I'm going to jump back down again towards the bottom. Add hand-drawn or doodled botanical elements. Okay, so I've got a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. This is one of the fine liners, and this is the small nib. So before I get rid of, or before I actually lose any of this white space in here, I'm going to actually utilise it. So I'm going to create some kind of doodled kind of like odd I suppose you can call them kind of like alien plants. Creative doodling, if you like. Oop. And then add some more over here. Just hope that the pen lasts. And that it doesn't dry out. Definitely what they call creative doodling. Then we can add some of those like little mini seed pods just down here. Okay, so hand-drawn or doodled botanical elements. So we've got those, but I might also just draw a few kind of like little doodly dangles. So it just adds a little bit more kind of like dimension to it. Okay, so I think that's going to be enough for that. So what else we got? Add handwritten journaling, a quote or text. So I think in here I'm going to just add some lettering, a little quote. And I just go back in and just thicken that up a little bit, just to make it stand out a little bit better. The thing about doing kind of abstracty pages like this is that you can just let your imagination run riot and just add whatever you want to do. There's no stopping you really, is there? Okay, so add hand-drawn or doodle botanical elements. We've done. Add handwritten journaling, a quote or text. So what have we got left? We've got add doodles or scribbles. So we've kind of added doodles anyway, but I think we'll add a little border. So let's just, seeing as we've got like a circular motif, let's add a circular doodly kind of border all the way around. This may take a few minutes, but I think probably the end result will be worth it. I'm not going to go over the corrugated textured cardstock. So why don't I just zoom through this and I'll join with you. And I'm pretty much done. Okay, so got that kind of circular chain doodle all the way around, which kind of mirrors the circles and the little abstracty plants that we've got growing up here as well. So let's just add in just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so the final thing that we've got, so add doodles or scribbles, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's everything apart from the sparkle and the glitter. And I've used the word flow in there. So we've got the fuchsia colour as well, we've got the buttermilk, and we've also got that darker violet-y kind of colour. So the only thing we need to add is that glimmer, sparkle and glitter. So to do that, let's just grab some of that lovely silver paint, and this time let's add some of those into the mix. I'm not going to do a huge amount. But just enough. Just to give it a little bit of glimmer. Yep, I think that will do. I think the temptation with something like this is to add too much or to go too far with it. So I've got a little bit of that paint left. So I think what I'm going to do is just grab a fan brush. So there's not even enough paint there just to add some splatters. Let's just grab a little bit more. See, what was I saying about the temptation being to go too far? And then he starts adding silver splatters too. There we go. That's it. Show a little restraint, Mike. Some of you are probably going, too late for that. Okay. Now that we've got all that cleared up, let's get that dry and I will be right back. Okay, so all that silver is now dry and you can just see there's some nice little shimmer and glitter just in the background, just little points of light that just catch and shine as you tilt it. So I've got some of that tissue that still needs to be trimmed off the edges, so I'm just going to quickly run my scissors around the edge. And theoretically I could just leave that as a little bit of extra texture, but I decided against it. Just a little bit more down there. And there's a little wee tad just there, look. that's it. That's a little bit tidier. So let's just bring my prompts back in. So we've gone through everything: tissue fragments, painted with our fingers, made maps with circular objects, add handwritten journaling or quote or text, so let your energy flow. Use the word flow from the words for inspiration. Included textured embossed cards somewhere. Yeah, we've got some little corrugated cardboard pieces. Added doodles or scribbles, so we've got our little doodles and scribbles around the outside for the border. Include some glimmer sparkling glitter, so we've got that silver paint. And then add hand-drawn or doodled botanical elements. So I've got a few kind of weird and wonderful alien kind of little planty things growing just out of these bits of what now look like outcrops of rock, I think anyway, but that's just me. So that's it, that's everything for the mission inspiration for August, using the fuchsia, the buttermilk and the violet colours as my colour scheme. So all that I need to do now is to just quickly sign and date it. So it's now the 3rd of August, and then I'll just sign it there and then flip that over, and then I can stick my mission brief sheet onto the back so that I can remember what the prompts were for that art journal page. And don't forget, you can download this graphic for free on my blog, but it's also on the Facebook group for the Mission Inspiration monthly. So all you have to do is follow that link there, or click the clickable link in the description area below the video to join, and then you can download that if you want to. But like I said, it's also available on my blog as part of this blog post for the art journal page. I'm kind of losing it now. I obviously need to have coffee. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video for more like this. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.